question though. Can you ever stand backwards on the stairs?
If I wanted to.
Why did I really just thought about?
Because no matter which way you're standing, you're not really ever backwards because you're either facing going downstairs or facing going upstairs.
But if you're supposed to be going upstairs and you turn around facing downstairs, you are backwards because you're not supposed to be going downstairs, you're supposed to be going upstairs.
Well, you're backwards in what you're doing, but you're not backwards on the stairs.
But it's still backwards though.
No, what you're doing. The question was, can you be backwards on the stairs?
Yes.
Yes. Turn sideways.
That is not how any of this works.
Yes, you can. Final answer.
Okay. I have
Breathe,
nothing.
Kayla, breathe.
How do you laugh so hard you have to put yourself on mute?
Oh my gosh. That is your co-host. I'm going to keep pointing that out various times.
Oh, Lord. Pray for me. Well, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Take Up Space Podcast. I am your host, Leah.
And Kayla is here.
And today we have our sister with us, Jendayi.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for coming by and wanting to hang out with us for a little bit to talk about some stuff.
Let's talk about some stuff.
So today we want to talk about what you do in practice is how you play the game. Do you think that's a true statement?
Oh, it depends. There's a lot of different variables that go into it.
Okay.
So let's say somebody that's really gifted at something.
Okay.
Do they really need to practice if they got the gift?
I would say yes. because you never know what day you have to rely on your skill as opposed to your gift, because your gift gets you into places, but your skill keeps you there.
Interesting.
So if you're gifted to sing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like say you're gifted to sing. If you only know how to sing the one way, it'll only take you so far. But if you build skills to be able to do crowd work, to be able to talk to different people, to be able to work with different people, those skills will get you further than just being able to sing. There are a lot of people who did not make it to America's not Next Top Model, Lord have mercy, who did not make it to American Idol. Yes, who did not make it to American Idol, but they still are gifted in singing.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm gifted in a lot of areas, but if I don't practice and I don't learn how to build skills around my gift can make me lazy, and that could be how I am presented when it's time for me to actually play the game.
I think it depends on it just depends, because if it's just you believe in yourself, you good. I don't need to practice. I got this. I know what I'm doing. I'm good.
How do you know you got it though?
Because I've done it so many times. I just know.
Exactly my point. That is
no, performing, not practicing.
So how do you know you're able to do it?
Because you performed before. So you said singer.
Okay.
If I said, hey Fantasia, get up and go sing Mary Had a Little Lamb, does she need to practice that?
No, because she grew up in church singing all the time. She practiced multiple times before she was able to get to American Idol. I don't know why I keep messing up the name of the show, but she practiced multiple times in her life to where when she got on stage, it was the same thing that she had been doing previously. So practicing doesn't just mean like, I'm going to set aside time to practice. It's just something that she does. Washing the dishes, singing, cleaning the car out, singing, going to work, singing. It's something that she continuously practices. And because she continuously practiced that, when she got on stage to sing, she became like she did what she did in practice, which is belt out those notes, get the crowd emotionally involved because she was emotionally involved, and rock the house.
But would you say by performing that is her practice, or that's your practice?
I think she was able to perform because of her practice. It's the same thing like with basketball players. They've practiced their whole lives. All the time. They always got a ball in their hand, always dribbling. They don't just pick up the ball like, "Ooh, a basket. Let me shoot it." Great. I did it the one time. Cool. I'm going to the NBA. It's not really how it works. Like you have to be able to know your craft so well that you know what you're capable of doing. And the only way you know that is through practice.
Yeah, I'm still not on that page. I do feel like when you're actually performing or you're outside of the practice realm, some stuff just happens. Like
True.
say in church, you can rehearse a song a certain way, but the Holy Spirit show up, everything y'all went over rehearsal just goes away, and you just go with what you're feeling. Same thing with performing. You go with the crowd. The crowd's not there when you're practicing, but you perform differently when you're actually playing in an official game versus just shooting around. So I think practicing can help with technique, but I think the performance is different based on who your audience, any personal things you got going on in your life, anything that impacts, your mental and your physical. I feel like that dictates more how you perform.
Okay, so let's take a performer like let's go jazz era because that was all freestyle, right? They, just in the juke joints freestyling, right? Let's say we have like Bird Parker, Fats Domino, all them, right? They're performing, but they know their craft so well. Yes, I went way back in the 40s. So
I don't even know who those people are.
Fats Domino, the drummer. Bird Parker is a trumpet player, I think. I want to say he's a trumpet player. I just know he's a jazz musician. I forgot what exactly he plays. But they know their ability to play their instruments so well because they have done it so often in practice that when they got on stage, it didn't matter where the crowd was. They were able to go off that vibe and jam with them because they know their gift so well. Okay, he's a saxophonist. Yes, I knew it was something in the horn family.
Yeah, I still don't know him though.
Okay. Nope, just leaving that alone. But because they knew their craft so well, just like Chris Brown dancing, just like Beyonce singing, just like Fantasia singing, basketball players, football players, because they know what they're capable of, they know what their bodies are able to do, what instruments they have, what gifts they have, and where it's taking them because they've done it multiple times, even speaking, because you've practiced doing it so often. That is how it comes out in your performance. You become one with it. Just like chefs, when chefs are like, well, I know if I put this flavor together, I know what it's going to be like because I've practiced knowing what it tastes like so many times.
Okay. I'm catching what you're throwing down. I just think it depends on what level you're trying to get to. Because say something simple like paint nails. I'm just trying to slap a color of paint. That's it. I'm not trying to do designs or whatever. However, if I am trying to advance in that specific skill, I do need to practice. But if you're just comfortable where you're at and you know your limitations and you just stay in the pocket in your comfort zone, then I don't see the need to practice to perform the same exact way. But if you do want to become better, do designs, the roses, the clip-ons, all that stuff, you do have to practice. Look, I don't wear nails. I don't know what it's called.
Press on nails.
Yeah,
but that goes back to what you do in practice is how you play the game. So if you don't intend to elevate, if you don't intend to do better, you're not going to challenge yourself. You're good where you are, like you say, in the pocket, of being able to do Lee press-ons and be able to do them clean. You have the nicest Lee press-on nails in the whole neighborhood. But if you're looking to do more, then you have to elevate your practice. But if you continue to practice doing the same thing over and over again, you're not going to wake up one day being able to do the marble or the concrete colors and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So it's all in where you want to be.
Yeah, I
so
think
we
it's
agree.
all
Yeah. So let's take it to.
You gonna cut Kayla off?
I'm sorry, I didn't even hear you talk. I'm sorry. What did you say?
No, I was saying to me, it just is what you hope to gain in the end. I can't stand that of y'all.
Yeah, if you are practicing to be great, or if you're practicing because you want to elevate or be better, then and you continue to challenge yourself when you're practicing, that is going to be different. Like, for example, doing this podcast, I had practice runs, practice recordings that will never see the light of day because it was just that bad. But having done this, not saying that I'm continually like I'm not constantly recording. I know what I can do with my gift of speech. And so, but I know that because I've practiced it multiple times, whether it be at debate tournaments, whether it be advocating for myself or for the kids that I taught, or for other people at work, or for myself at work, being able to speak. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know what I've learned, and I know what I'm able to use. Because of that, I've been able to practice what to say, how to say it, when to say it. And so doing podcasting is just a different arena for me to be able to use the gift that I've been given of speech.
Okay. Oh, you got to hear my snaps. She said that thing.
I can't with your co-host.
Why are you hating?
You know, I'm probably going to be in looking for a new one, but it's okay. It's okay.
Wow.
What?
Breaking news, Kayla. Breaking news.
Really? She not. She gets you really.
So, what are some? Since we now agree on what practice doing, what you do in practice is how you play the game. Whether you want to maintain where you are or elevate. What are some things in relationships that you practice while single that you had to alter when you got married?
I mean, you said, okay, something I practiced while I was single that I had to alter when I got married?
Yes.
Go ahead, Jendayi.
Self-isolation.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Y'all know me. I have my periods of time where I just don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be bothered with nobody. I just am quiet and to myself. But obviously, in a marriage, you cannot do that as often as I used to do that. So I had to learn to communicate through those moments. Nothing was wrong. It's like, Monica's song, just one of them days. It's one of them days, don't take it personal. However, when you are in a union, you can't just use that and be like, oh, it's just one of them days. I'm going to go over here. Leave me alone. Like, no, I had to alter that in communicating. Even if I do get in those moods, I had to communicate that, like, I just need a little bit of time. I can't just disappear for half a day.
Yeah.
That's something that I had to alter.
Yeah.
What is that?
You can't. I'm just saying, you like disappear for half a day when you're married. We're like, where is my wife? Hello.
No,
do we need to put out an APB? Where did she go? Okay.
No, I haven't done that since we've been married, but I know while we were dating, that's something that I had to work on.
I feel like I just need just one of them days. Just need about 12 hours just to be
okay. Now you're exaggerating. Okay, it's not that long. just have those moments. But the good thing is I haven't had one of those moments in a while. It's been a very long time, so that's a good thing.
Well, that's good.
Because it's weird. I don't know, but I've learned that it's actually more common than I thought. So yeah, that's. I don't know if I can think. I'll let Kayla go, and then I'll try to think of something else.
Okay.
Mine would have to be, I don't know if it's the same thing as like self-isolation, but mine is shutting down when something is wrong.
Yeah.
I was very good at just like, you know what? Throw my phone. Well, not throw my phone somewhere, but like turn my phone off. Really turn my phone off. Don't talk to nobody. I'm in my mood. I want to stay in my funky mood. I don't care what you have to say. You're wrong. I'm right. Really. You're wrong. I'm right. That was something big, honestly, that I'm still trying to work on still to this day.
To this day.
Definitely. But really, but definitely shutting down because it's just so easy. And when you have somebody who comes to your life and it's like, just let me be me. Like, why do I have, this is who I am. I want to stay this way. So why do I have to adjust because now you're in my life?
What?
Lord.
Hey, that's how I thought it was supposed to go. Like, I ain't changing nothing. But then I realized.
Okay.
Then you realize what?
They have been slightly wrong.
Wait.
Just slightly
wrong? You may have been slightly wrong.
I had to just, change my perspective just a little bit. Just a teeny weeny tiny little bit.
I'm gonna pray for you on that one, Kayla.
Really?
I'm just gonna pray for you on that one.
So how has changing those things changed what you practice in your relationship?
It's helped me with excuse me.
Drink some water.
It's empty, okay? It's helped me with communication, and I learned a lot about. It's like having a mirror being held up to yourself because you're so used to just dealing with yourself and your ways, and you're set in your ways. You're used to handling situations, but when it's no longer just you by yourself and it's you and your spouse, you have to come together to work things out. Mm-hmm. So in communication, I realized when there is ever an issue, I like to take my time and analyze every aspect of it. Don't make that face. I have to analyze, different actions, my actions, their actions, what could have been done differently, blah, blah, blah. On the other hand, he likes to
I'm sorry, what?
Drew keeps walking up to me. I'm trying to,
He wants to show you something. He needs your attention, Bobby. He needs your attention.
Anyways, so I was more of an analytical person, analyzing the entire situation and taking my time while doing so. But he, on the other hand, was more focused on, okay, we have this issue. How are we going to solve it? We ain't moving on until we get to a solution. We agree to it, and then we can move on. So that's I prefer that method. But yeah, that's something that I had to work through and actually be honest with myself. Like, dang, okay, so this is me. All right, let's work on this together.
Okay. KK.
I got another one. That was my one good one.
Okay, so it would behoove you to actually answer the question that I just asked. So that,
Lord,
if you're not paying attention, maybe I need to send you show notes beforehand so that you know where we are in the show. The question.
Yeah, go ahead, repeat it for her. Breathe, Rebecca, breathe.
The question that was asked is what are you practicing now that you know that you can't do what you practiced when you were single?
Now, when you say practicing now,
Oh, okay.
you mean that I'm working on, right?
Yes.
That's your co-host?
We're still in a
I'm still a work
probationary
in
period
progress.
here.
I'm still a work in progress. Is it progress or process?
Progress.
Progress. I'm still a work in progress right now. So I honestly cannot answer that question at the moment. Let me be great, okay? Let me be great.
I want you to be great, but there are so many things that you said that I just, we, it's just so many things.
That's your co-host again? I'm just
Just so many
verifying.
things.
Why are you hating, Janelle?
I'm just trying to get some clarity on the situation because it's,
No,
it's just looking a little,
I bring life to the situation. I
You bring
calm
it.
the storm.
calm or create. What was that?
I said I calm. Really?
Okay, got it. Got it. Got it.
I calm the storm.
Which is funny because since we're since Kayla's already in the hot seat, I feel like this is important to talk about because I can't be the only one experiencing this. Kayla and I had a conversation previously, and she said as an adult, she had to come to the realization of some things. Kayla, what is it that you had to come to the realization of?
Inquiring minds would like to know, Caleb. What did you say?
Mind you, she is
That
a full-grown adult with 2 children. Okay, I just want to put that out there.
Lord, Caleb, what did you say?
that I was not going to win the lottery.
She just realized. Now,
Kayla.
let me set the stage. Let me set the stage.
Please set it. Set it. Make it plain.
Okay. This woman said to me, she tried to get my blood pressure up. She really did. She tried to get my pressure up. Okay. She said, you know what? I just had to realize like yesterday. And this conversation just happened like last week. Okay. It just happened like last week. She said, I realized yesterday that I'm not going to win the lottery. And I wouldn't have an issue with that if Kayla actually played the lottery.
Kayla.
Not one time has she bought a ticket, did a scratch off.
I would just say, one lucky time I go to the store or something, the gas station, be like, hey, do you want to play? Yeah, why not? And then boom, it falls into my lap. Like I won.
Kayla.
Yes, how can I help you?
I would like to know. This conversation was last week, right?
Yep.
Okay, so between the time of this conversation and all the time before you came to this realization, what made you think that you were actually in the running to win the lottery? Like what clicked for you?
My hopes and dreams.
But what clicked in your head and you were like, you know what? Dang, I'm not gonna win. Like what led to that thought? I'm trying to understand.
When my letter got wrong, you know how they be like, where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years? That's how I saw myself.
Kayla, but normally people say that they're actually doing something to get there, but you don't even play lotto.
Okay. It's a process.
I feel like is that the word of the day? Is that what we're doing? That's the word of the day?
Because I was sitting there saying, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with rude people. And so the result was going to be, I'll just win the lottery.
And that's
Nobody else has experiences with me, okay?
So you're gonna win the lotto and you're never gonna deal with a rude person again? How does that?
No, with work. So I was like, you know what? So I don't have to work at the moment. It's just a particular job that I'm doing. So I don't have to work at the moment. The lottery was going to be like my safety net. That I didn't have to worry about it anymore.
That's a big old net that you don't have.
You said what?
That's a big net that you do not have.
Exactly. That's what I'm gonna win one day.
But
Okay.
you don't play it.
I feel like it's gonna be honestly, it's gonna be like a one-time type of deal where you know how you buy the lottery ticket and it's gonna be the winning ticket.
She watched Willy Wonka and the
I was
Chocolate
about to say
Factory.
this is not Willy Wonka.
She watched it
Definitely
way
not.
too many times.
Why not?
That's not how that works.
This
That's
your
not how
co-host?
any of this works.
This is your co-host?
I think it will. I think it will work. It's a soft yes.
It's a hard pass.
Hard pass.
It's a hard pass. I just needed someone else to come in and experience that because I
Really?
don't know how I feel about you suggesting me to that, so we'll talk offline. I can't. I cannot. I
Y'all, I
cannot.
got a question for y'all. Got a question.
yes.
Now I know a lot of people like Beyonce. Is it because of her name or that she puts on a good performance that she's a great artist? Would it be better, or would you say, okay, instead of Beyonce's name on like on her performances and all that, what she does, what if it was somebody who actually came in with the idea's name on it? Would people still have the same reaction?
No.
It's the branding.
Why?
It's the branding because you don't go and buy what's a brand. If they were to put the name Scott on quilted northern toilet paper, I wouldn't get it because it's not quilted northern. Like I get stuff based on branding. I know what works. I know that if I wanted good hamburger relish, I would get Del Monte hamburger relish. Don't send me B&G hamburger relish. So if Beyonce's name is not on it, we don't know if it's good or not because whoever came up with it, just like what is Chris Brown? Chris Brown's choreographer's name was Fly. One of his choreographers' name is Fly, I think. And if his name was on the board on the whatever screen it was that it was his performance because he put something together and Chris Brown just happens to feature on it. Nobody know who he is. But he has, if you look him up, he choreographed for so many people. For so many people. Him, the Boom Cat lady, what's her name? Lorianne Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's but if their names are Lorianne kind of created like a whole brand thing for herself. But if you have the people's name, that's what they're supposed to do. Like the writers don't always get they get the awards on the back end, but they don't always get the full recognition
Right.
from the world. Because like Neo, when he wrote what's the name? Beyonce's song, Irreplaceable.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that Neo wrote it until Neo was
Beyonce
like,
kept saying that she wrote it.
Yeah.
This is me. I did that song. That's all me. That's me. That's Neo in the background. Yo, look at me. Look at me. No one cares. Why? Because you didn't sing it. Beyonce sang it. And it's a Beyonce song. Just like was it Chris Storch? Scott Storch. Scott Storch is another writer. He's another writer. Like Manny Fresh is a producer as well. Timbaland's a producer as well. So it just because they write or produce different things, they don't always need the limelight. You want the person who has the branding to be able to get your product out there.
Mm-hmm. What was your question, Kayla?
No, I was going to say, so then, you know, everybody's starting their own thing, getting to the groups of things, starting their businesses. How can you make yourself known if somebody else is already in the spotlight? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Rihanna did a good job of showing us what that is with what's her makeup line called?
Fendi.
Fendi.
Fancy.
I thought it was
Yeah.
Fendi. I didn't want to mess it up. I thought it was Fendi. There are so many makeup lines out there, but when Rihanna came out with her makeup line, sold out. As
Yeah.
many lines as there are, there's always going to be a lane for your gifts. I don't think that people have to, just because there's a lot of people who build houses, but construction workers are not going to be, short on jobs. Just because somebody else knows how to hammer a nail just like you do, there's not going to be, there's almost a million podcasts out there, right? But nobody's going to be able to bring the perspectives that I bring, or that you bring, or be able to talk about things the way we talk about them. There's other businesses that do consulting. There's other businesses that do branding and marketing. But if you have a gift in it, there's room for you.
Just look at the bread aisle. If
You look at the bread aisle?
Yeah, go to the grocery store. So they got a whole aisle of bread.
You know what the sad thing is?
Huh? What?
The sad thing is, I was like, nobody doesn't like Sara Lee. And then there's like,
really?
Store brand. Because I really don't.
You got Wonder Bread. You got
that is right. Iron Kids.
They got Hawaiian roll bread. They got so many different brands of bread, but it's all bread. So if you're ever in your creative space and you're just like, oh man, they're doing what I want to do, and still do it. Still do it, because nobody can do it like you can do it. So
no, I asked because that's how I feel, or that's like I had to actually sit down and think like why. Y'all know I really enjoy drawing, but at times I feel like, okay, I am still taking these classes, but I feel like I'm not good. Like, yeah, I can put on what I think in my mind on paper, but I'm always sitting here comparing to other people. That's what I'm trying to get out of. So I'm like, okay, what's the purpose of continuing what I like, what I enjoy to do that somebody else can enjoy it if a million other people are doing the same exact thing as me? I know it may not be the same. It could be very similar, but it's not going to be 100% identical. But I'm just always thinking like, well, they're doing it, so why do I need to continue what I'm doing? What's the purpose of it?
So, a couple things. You have to realize what you are doing it for. Every creative, every person, whoever does, I don't care how cocky they are. Nobody can do it like me, blah, blah, blah. But they see someone who is doing a variation of what they know how to do, and they always want to do better. Everybody has that. And so don't feel like you're alone. I go through that often. Just even with, but it's I name it as a imposter syndrome, where it's like, man, there's so many other people that's better than me. I don't think I deserve to be here. I don't deserve to be recognized amongst all these other people that are talented. But there are people who want what you have. And as a creative, it's your job to continue to create. So when you start looking at other people, and you take your eyes off the reason why you're doing it for you, or doing it, to the glory of God, or whatever the reason why you do your artwork. If you do it in comparison to other people, you'll achieve very little success. But if you do it because, right, if you do it because you enjoy it, you do it because it's for you, then that's when you start to see a turn, you start to see a shift in how you create, because it's not like people want to create this false sense that there's only room for one at the top. There's room for so many people at the top. There's a lot. I mean, everybody could be winning. So, because like one person, if we all went into the same business making cakes, right? I may, if a million people come, I'm not going to be able to serve everybody. That's one. Two, my cakes may be too sweet. Your cakes may not be fluffy enough. Your cakes may be too dense. So,
I
but
gotta have
people,
the dense ones.
Really?
but but because we are servicing so many people, there's some people who are like, I really don't like the feel of this, and they can't really explain why, but you give them what they need. So it's important to be able to use your talent and making sure your talent is not um, abused, neglected, or suppressed because you see someone else being good at what you're also good at. And I had to, and I just went through this with the whole debate thing when I debated Janelle. Whew, girl gave me a run for my money. I was like, I don't think I'm good at this anymore. I don't know if I can do this, but it's that mindset that you have to have when you're doing it.
That's I concur.
I must say that Detroit, when you just go tell me about the debate you had with Janelle, that comes back to what you said was like practicing
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't give your 100% in practice
I
when
did.
you
I had
debated.
to, like, when I practiced with Janelle, when I did because I spoke first. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be a walk in the park. Let me go ahead and get my points.
Yeah,
And
see, you didn't give
I'll
your
give
100%.
I'll give 3 solid arguments. Great. That girl had me all over the floor. I was like, whoo, that second speech, I had to come back with a vengeance. I was like, mm-mm. But yeah, it is how definitely how you see yourself, and because you have the gift and talent to be able to do it, you may never do something as extravagant as painting the Sistine Chapel, but your creative skills, you could be working with kids, you could be working with adults who are getting their training wheels off of their pencils, so to speak, or whatever. You could be doing digital art media. There are so many different lanes, especially nowadays, that you can do for art, that when you limit yourself to looking at what other people are doing, because there's oil painting, there's water painting, there's markers, there's pencils, there's
Yeah,
pointillism,
and stuff.
there's so many things that it's
Hmm.
so hard to just limit yourself and say because this person is good with oil paints. Like the guy on social media who paints with people's like faces. It's like he paints their face with their face.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think
He
is
paints
he
their
Nigerian?
face.
I don't know where he's from.
Okay, yeah, I'll send you the link. But if
Okay.
anybody has seen it, it is something to behold. Because he used one guy's locks, he used another woman's purse, he used another person's face, and he paints their pictures upside down, flips it over, and it is their profile or their face. And it's so dope.
I seen the one where it's a guy and a girl, but the guy's doing the painting and she's holding like the paint in her hand and he'll just splatter. Like
Yes,
that. I
that's
don't know
it.
if that's the
That's
one.
the guy.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one I seen. I was just like, talk about creativity.
Yeah. And he's not worried. Nobody else can do what he does as far as we've seen.
Yeah.
He creates like there could be a whole bunch of people who be able to do what he does. But he's been able to stand out. And
The
that's
most, yeah. That's the
and
only one I've ever seen.
huh?
No, I say he's the only video of him doing that I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it's something to behold if you haven't seen it. But I think that when we practice, especially our mindset, thinking that it is impossible or it's too hard, or that there's already people who have flooded the market doing what we are capable of doing, it belittles our gifts, it suppresses our talents, and it makes us not want to try to challenge ourselves. Okay, well then, I appreciate y'all.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought I was talking. No,
I'm gonna make sure that nobody's able to go on mute next time because I'm sitting here, y'all both on mute, and
I sent you a message. I told you I was on mute.
My bad. No, okay. What I was saying, I 100% agree with you because it is so much easier to fall back and like, you know what, somebody else can have it, or that somebody else can deal with it. I know for me, because I'm like, you know what, the fear of failure is definitely something that I don't want to say afraid of, but something that I just don't want to deal with. Even though I know it's going to happen and it has to happen in order for me to grow and learn, but I'm just like, let me not.
So why are you afraid of it if you know the good that can come out of it?
I guess the way it's going to happen and how much, like, the capacity of it. Like, I don't want to be like, ooh, I took 10 steps forward, but I took 1,000 steps back.
And
maybe because you were walking in the wrong direction. That sounds like you were going the wrong way, and God was like, "Let me help you." Let me take you back to Nineveh where you belong, Jonah. That's not
no,
not where you were supposed to go at all.
Really, it's like you have your starting point, right?
Right.
Yes.
You advance, but then whatever something happens, that now you're further back from your starting point.
Okay, but when you keep going, you can avoid whatever it is that caused you to, go backwards in the first place. And now you're smarter than you were the first time you went through the path. So again, if you know that failing is going to be a teachable lesson and give you more wisdom and experience in whatever it is, whatever goal you're trying to reach, why are you scared of it?
Nobody wants to work hard.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work hard. I just want to wake up and be a success story. That's all.
But you have to have the story. You forget the story part.
Listen, we're starting at the place of me walking out to Madison Square Garden. Okay, that's where we start. No one wants to know what happened.
No.
I was born from my mother and walked to Madison Square Garden. That's what happened. Okay.
Really? What kind of
There's no in between. There's no in between.
There has
to not fail. To not fail at winning this lottery, what steps?
No. No.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. That has been another episode of Take Up Space Podcast. We hope that you learned something. To let us know what you practiced in the game. I mean, what you practiced before you played the game, or some things that you had to kind of tweak and practice so that you can be better in life. Also, if you are someone who is delusional about winning a lottery that you never play, we will pass around the collection plate to hopefully send you to the therapy that you need. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please be sure to follow us on all social media at Take Up Space Pod. That's Take Up Space POD on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow Jendayi at
Instagram daily_dose_Derisca DERISCA.
The links will be in the discussion. What is it called? Description. Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe. Listen, okay. We're still on this thing. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe again. And we will see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.